I would like to thank the organizer to invite me to give the presentation here, and I also like to congratulate the glorious 100 years of NIN. So my presentation, already the title is announced by the chair. So what happens? So it's you have to start again. So many of you know that Bangladesh is a very small country and surrounded by the India, and we are very small, but we are not small in population, and many rivers are there. It's a riverine country, and we are the food deficit country once, but now the Bangladesh has made a commendable progress in food security during the last 3 decades. So the achievement in agriculture sector, so now the Bangladesh is a rice sufficient country. Now we are exporting the rice, and the next the corn is becoming the last decade. It's becoming the very yield is production is increasing, and also the vegetable production is increasing. And now we can say the Bangladesh becomes the 3rd position in vegetable production, 4th position in rice production, 7th position in mango production, and also the 4th position in freshwater fish. So the Bangladesh did the lot of progress in the food production. And what about the consumption? Per capita, per day consumption, according to data of Household Income Expenditure Survey, the cereal intake was high, which was now gradually decreasing, and the fruits, vegetable, and other animal food, legumes, and oil consumption is decreasing, and still less than the desirable amount. The cereal dietary energy intake is high in Bangladesh, though it should be 60% for the balanced nutrition. So here is the 2016 Household Income Expenditure Survey. According to them, the food consumption increases in other food groups, but if we go through the nutritional status, there are also improvement, that is in under 5 children, the 72% of the stunted was in among under 5 children, and which is becomes the 36 in 2014. So it's almost now half of as compared to 1995, and underweight also decreased, but wasting is as it is. So if we go through the nutritional status of the reproductive as female, chronic energy deficiency is decreasing, but on the other hand, if we go through the BMI cut-off point 25, so the overweight and obesity increasing. And if we go through the cut-off point 23, that is for the cardiovascular risk for South Asian population, it is cut down to 23. So 39% are overweight and obese. So the prevalence of micronutrient deficiency, according to the National Micronutrient Survey, there is also the iodine deficiency, though there is universal salt iodization is according to Bangladesh government, all edible salt are iodized. But some pocket area there is a still iodine deficiency, and some fraction of the population they also have the iodine deficiency. And anemia is there, but according to this survey, iron deficiency anemia is not so high as reported earlier. But the zinc deficiency, folate and vitamin B12 deficiency in non-pregnant, non-lactating women. It's coming into as a new micronutrient deficiency. So in MDG targets, Bangladesh successfully achieved most of their targets, and for the SDGs and 7th five-year plan, Bangladesh has the new policies. So first country investment plan for the food security and food production, which is successfully implemented, and on 10th of October, the second country investment plan is launched for 2016 to 2020, and there is another which has the focus on nutrition sensitive food system, and which is led by the Food Ministry. And there is another country investment plan, that is second national plan of action for the nutrition, which should be covered the 2016 and 2025, and the Health Ministry is the lead ministry, and the Joint Secretary Dr. Ruhul Amin Talibdar was here. He is take care this NPAN 2 implementation, and government revive and reconstitute the Bangladesh National Nutrition Council, who will take care of this implementation of NPAN 2. So in CIP 2 and NPAN 2, there is the goals. So adequate and stable food supply, safe and nutritional food supply, and sustainable food security, increase purchasing power and adequate nutrition for all individuals, and especially women and children. And NPAN 2 has the multi-sectoral approach, 17 ministries working under this NPAN 2, improve nutritional status of all citizens. There is some common agendas, and they are working with the coordination of BNNC. And in 7th five-year plan, the target of the reduction of stunting is the 25. At this point, it's a national demand to see where is now Bangladesh in terms of food consumption, nutrient intake, food security, nutritional status. So that's why this study has conducted. And this study actually is the panel study, which is started from Bangladesh National Nutrition Survey, 74-75, and then it's 81-82, and then 2001-2 there was a Brown is funded that study, and 2007 again they studied the same household, same individuals, and then in 2017 they started again. So in that study, during that study, we realized that it should be do the consumption survey with that study. So that's why we did this study. To primary objective of this study to estimate the acceptable precision of the selected measurable dietary factor. And here is the specific objectives. I am not going through this. The sample design, that is the 75 sample survey, and it is supplemented by 30 village per 30 by 30 edition, because now the urban migration is more, and there is changes according to the latest census. 69% is in rural, but during 74, 75, 95 was the rural population. So we adjusted with that to cover the urban population. So here is the summary of sample area covered by this survey. So 4,058 household, and 10% repeat to correction the error during the survey. So in methodology, we conducted by data collection conducted by the structure questionnaire, and dietary data collected by the food by weight method, and you know that it's a very tedious and time consuming and expensive method. And because we want to draw the intra-household food distribution, that's why we did the weight method. And dietary diversity, you know that the proxy of the adequacy of macronutrients. So for the women, we did the dietary diversity score. And we use the food composition table. I'm extremely sorry my student cannot explain yesterday that what is the difference between this updated FCT. This updated FCT, actually it's a database. And this database is available on InFood website. And this database made with very tedious method, very meticulously. Food composition table quality depends not only the consumption intake calculation. They should follow the estimation, quality estimation, and there should be some compilation. Ruth is here. There is guideline, so they should follow the InFood guidelines for during compilation and analysis. And this is the food composition table, which is now the global standard. And we also use another scale for the food security assessment, the food insecurity experience scale, which is the first time we are using in Bangladesh. And here is the 8 questionnaire asked to the respondents, and according to this questionnaire, we can assess that the hunger is prevail or not, and whether they compromise their quantity or they compromise their quality. So in result, we will show the food and nutrient intake, anthropometry, by anthropometry the nutritional status, women minimum diet, and food insecurity experience scale. So here is the age, sex structure of the sample population. And the food intake shows that the income group is actually by the Upajila tax they paid by the household members. The A is the poorest, then the B is poor, and C is the middle income group, and D is the richest population. So poor people diet is more cereal based as compared to rich people, and in animal food the rich people consume more animal foods as compared to the poor peoples. And here intra-household food distribution, we can see that the protein is sufficient according to RDA, but today morning Dr. Onura said that the quantity is not the thing, the quality, because this protein is plant-based protein, mostly comes from the rice, so the quality is not up to the mark. So according to intra-household food distribution, adults consume more as compared to the children, and the male consume the more. And if we show that the consumption versus desirable per capita per day intake of major food item, so the cereal still higher than the desirable, and potato also still higher than the desirable, but but the other food group, vegetable and fruits, still we are in lag behind, and also the animal protein and oil consumption. And dietary diversity, so dietary diversity increase with income, and there is no difference between rural urban population. And food security experience, according to food security experience, only few household has the hunger. 2.7% household has hunger, and also 2.8% individual has hunger, that is severe food insecure. But most of the household, that is only 40% are food secure, and 40% individual, which is household and individual is comparable. And if we go through the under 5 children, the situation is still nutritional status of the under 5 children is still it's not improving, though the consumption increase, the food security situation improving, but the under 5 children's stunting and underweight and wasting is not improving. And in adult population, according to BMI, that is it's the same trend. The female is more vulnerable than the male, and the chronic energy deficiency decreasing, but the overweight is increasing. So I am not going to the key points. I should only give the conclusion. Food intake is gradually increasing and become more diversified than before. Dependence on cereal for nutrients has declining, replaced by animal foods, vegetables, milk and milk product. About 40% individuals are compromising food quality according to FIAS, which correlates with the 47% reproductive age female consuming diet of less than 5 food groups, which indicates people who compromise their diet quality and their effect on nutritional status. Food and nutrient intake, FIAS and WDD score all indicates more than 50% population consumed diet which is compromised in quality. So our policy is right direction. So healthy diet can ensure the nutrition and educate nutritional status. And finally, I have to thank Brown University, USA, FAO, and European Union. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, madam. Any question?